I've got everything filmed for today's episode other than the intro, and the rain has forced me inside and actually tell you about what's happening in the episode, because there's not an awful lot of talking, to be honest. Where last week's episode was focusing on the back of the van, I'm doing similar stuff but in the cab. So I'm going to split the episode into a few sections because otherwise it's just a little bit hard to follow. So firstly, we're going to strip the van, take the seats out and give it a good clean. Where previous owners haven't used mats on top of this membrane, it's just eroded, leaving these great big holes. And of course, you get in your car with wet feet and all sorts of crap, mud, gravel had gone through. And I also uncovered a bit of rust, which I don't think is really an issue. It's just surface rust. But yeah, I'm glad I went to this trouble, because now I can sand it down and treat it, put some hammerite over it. Ideally, create a completely watertight membrane, and then use mats to prevent it from sort of wearing over time. So this should be the blower resistor. So at the moment, the blowers only work on full power, and aircon doesn't work on full power, so aircon doesn't work. Right. So this is what we're going to put in. Yeah, so remove these 3 plastic screws. And I think there's one more somewhere here, but it just pops off. So this whole thing will pop down. This can be found just in here. So I've got to disconnect the cables and unscrew this, and then just as like for like. Okay, here we go. There we go. Right, got the screw out. Now I can pull this forward and it should be as simple as that. We can definitely see that the fuse has gone on the one we've just taken out. Okay, so that straight into there, that, and now we've just got to somehow screw it back in, because that's going to be the hard bit. Now, next step on the maintenance front is to attach this onto here. Off camera, I have already, well, the original one pretty much just dropped off. But the trouble is, over the years, it had just been bodged every time. There was silicone everywhere. So I've rubbed it down with acetone and got a nice clean edge. That was about a week ago, so I'm just gonna give it one more wipe down with some acetone, just to make sure it's completely degreased. Oh, I wonder if using a roller like before would be good. Actually, eventually this sort of hardens a little bit, doesn't it? And
yeah.
The other side's probably actually coming off as much as this side was, so I'll have to do that one as well. Because I could try and glue it, but I'll just have more work
To clean the top.
Yeah. Ta-da! There we go. All in. I didn't quite get it as high up at the start as everywhere else. I think it should be fine. This one was actually very slightly longer than the original. The old one only came to about here, so we've got that little bit extra coverage. So finally we move on to restoring the dashboard. Here I'm actually using cherry blossom shoe polish, which does a surprisingly good job at giving the dash a new lease of life. You'll see me in a second using a heat gun as well. I believe, this is just based on testing stuff out. I don't know whether it's scientific or not, but not only does it help dry the polish more quickly, I think it's very slightly melting the plastic and almost imbuing the polish into the plastic, which makes it more permanent. Don't know whether that's true, but it feels like it's doing that anyway. second episode. Stay tuned because there are many more episodes to come. Next time I'll try and give you more of an overview of what I intend to achieve with this conversion, and then once I've done that we can actually start converting the van, because so far it's been sort of preparation and more preparation. But yeah, it should start to get exciting pretty soon.